Hello YouTubers, this is Christmas Day as I'm filming this video. Got a few new vents here from the last video. The last video was those guys. I got these four here, and as a bonus I got this free blower motor here. Let's start with the vents and I'll get to the blower motor. Let's start with this one here. This one is some weird, I don't know what brand this is, but for sure, this has got to be early 1980s, late 1970s. Just the way the face of this looks. There's a shutter handle there. This was quite tricky to open. There we go. The way that the fins are done on this is very unique. They're kind of spaced smaller on this. It sounds like a bird cage. And if you don't know what I'm talking about those cheap bird cages with the wire on the side. This is what this sounds like. I wish I had a TrueAir version to compare to, but of course it's up in my pile of vents up there. This one is 12 by 12, in case you are wondering. The screw spacing is very weird. I like the way this one looks. It's just different. And I'm pretty sure my grandma's house, well, back when it had swamp coolers, I'm pretty sure it used to have this exact vent to make up the two sides of the double wide mobile home. And that house was built in 1978. So that's about right there. That's why I assume it's from the late 70s, early 80s. Now, we got these commercial 12 by 12s here. Now, this one, let's get to this one here. This one, where's the brand? It's a Titus, Tiltus, however you want to call it. Pronounce it. There it is. It's a 12 by 12, 8-inch collar. I'll keep rotating it, but there's the SKU and all the information here. There's the back of it. I have seen these in the 24 by 24s, commonly used in Ross stores and older buildings from around the 1980s, early 90s. But it's kind of nice they make it in this small form factor. These little fins here are adjustable. So you just stick your finger and then you can adjust them. It's kind of cool. And it has this mesh grill on the front of it, so it doesn't look so odd in the drop ceiling. It's on a drop ceiling system. These are meant to go in drop ceiling. That's why they have the frame like that. I'm glad to have one of these in 12 by 12. The 24 by 24s are too big to store. And these ones are also Titus or Tiltus, however you pronounce it. Now these are basically, these are strange, and I've seen these in 24 by 24s as well. Also in buildings around from the 1980s into the 90s, 80s into the 90s. There's that. If I could do it like that. So there's the back of it. Now this one, you have to put, I think this one is a 6x6 boot you have to put on there. You know, for your duct to attach. So yeah, that's the one drawback with this one. Versus this one, you just connect it straight to flex duct. Now, these little diffusers in there, essentially this is just, if you know what I'm talking about, some houses have those little cheap exhaust vents on the overhangs, and it's made of a very cheap sheet metal. That's really what these are. They just cut them, and then they're held in by these little plastic riveting things here. But they do pop out, and you could actually arrange them for your needs. So you just have these little plastic rivets. There's the back of it again. This one is the same thing. I just really like the way these look. And my sister, thanks to my sister, she got me all this. I really appreciate it. She knows I like this kind of stuff, even though she may call me a hoarder, because, well, I like to save a lot of stuff. That's just my nature. Put all three of them together. Now, here's this blower here. My neighbor's next door. This was Christmas Eve yesterday as of filming this video. He had this AC company come out and change out one of his AC units on Christmas Eve. And obviously the company that he had hired to come to do this job, to take on the job, they put this stuff, they put the old condensing unit out on the street along with this blower motor. The guy that worked for that company, of course, he wouldn't let me take this at first, so then I decided to go ask the third-party recycler, and the third-party recycler said, take this, take it if you want it. So he let me take this. The third-party recycler, I should say. I already have it all wired up. This is a 240-volt motor. Spins. It will run on 120. It hums quite loud. Hums very loud. But then at the same time, I did kind of take this apart to look at the motor specs to make sure that I wired everything correctly, because this is a multi-speed motor, and this motor is not original to this housing. Normally there would be a GE motor on this, but I think at one point the GE motor died on this and got changed out for one of these Mars motors. The one thing I cannot stand about these universal motors, and especially in the condensing units, is these reversing wires. There's got to be a better way to manage this. You even have like a little connector block that you can rotate to, flip to change the direction of this, or a switch. But more than anything, like a connector block. Because I see these things short out in condensing units like crazy outside. But not only that, but it looks really just like a dodgy install. Whoever came up with this idea, it's dumb. Dumb in my opinion. Came with this 10 microfarad cap. Already all installed. It's a 4-speed motor. Now, I did connect this to my little 240 volt step-up transformer. And this thing actually runs really well on that. I don't think this is set to the full high speed, but I gotta figure out this motor still. But it does run good. Needs a lot of cleaning, that's for sure, because this thing is about, I want to say this motor is about like 20, or this housing is about 20 years old. The motor is probably like 10 years old at this point. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this vent video here.